Now, the reading. I've I've never been able to scuba dive. I really want to learn. Maybe it was because of that scene on one of the very first James Bond movies where a beautiful actress come out of the ocean looking fabulous with a oxygen tank and her bags. I could see myself looking just like her. So, 2 years ago, I booked a vacation that included a week-long intensive course. On the first day of the course, I was incredibly excited. First, we had 2 hours of theory, and then we went into the ocean to put it into practice. But as soon as I went under the water, I discovered that I suffer from claustrophobia. I just wasn't able to do it. After about half an hour, I gave up. Every evening for the rest of my vacation, I had to listen to my school diving classmates talking about all the wonderful things they had seen that day on their diving excursion. But not being able to join in the conversation was very frustrating. I still love swimming and snorkeling, but I think that I have to accept that I will never be able to scuba dive.
Learn to dance.
I've always wanted to be able.
I've never been able to learn to dance. I always wanted to be able to dance salsa, and when I was working in Ecuador, there were free classes, so I joined. But the area of salsa is to keep your arms still and move your hips, and I just couldn't do it. When I hear music, my arms start moving, but my hips don't. After about 10-hour classes, I was able to do the basic steps, but I was dancing like a robot. I didn't give up, but soon everyone in the class was dancing and I was just slowly moving my side to side and counting out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was a little embarrassing that I was sure that one day I would suddenly be able to do it, but that never happened. I can still remember the first 2 steps, and I still try to dance when I hear salsa tune, but as long as nobody is watching.
I've never been able to speak Japanese. I love manga, Japanese comics, and I tried to learn Japanese, but I found it incredibly difficult, and I give up after 2 years. I think Asian language, which have simple existence of words, are extremely hard to learn for people who are more used to Roman letters. Also, my teacher, a Japanese woman, didn't speak Spanish very well, which didn't help. She was a very charming woman, but she was a little disappointed with us, and you could see that she thought that we will never be able to learn. However, one day she invited us to dinner and gave us some delicious traditional Japanese food. And since then, I often go to Japanese restaurants, so I learned to love the food, if not to speak the language.
Now he is only 20, but he can speak 11 languages. In competition run by Dictionary Publisher, college student Alex Rollins was named the most multilingual student. A German and Russian student, he is only 20 years old, can speak 11 languages fluently. In a video for a news website, he demonstrated his skill by speaking in all of them, changing quickly from one to the other. Rowling said that winning the competition was a bit shock. He explained, I saw the competition advertised and I heard something about a free iPad. I never imagined that I would generate this amount of media attention. As a child, Rowling's mother, who is half Greek, used to speak to him in English, Greek, and French, and he often visits his family in Greece. He said that he has always been interested in language. My dad worked in Japan for 4 years, and I was always frustrated that I couldn't speak to the kids because of the language barrier. After visiting Holland with the age of 14, he decided to learn Dutch with CDs and books. When I went back, I could talk to people. It was great. He taught himself many of the language with Teach Yourself books, but also by watching movies, listening to the music, and traveling to the countries themselves. Of all the language he speaks, Rowling says that Russian, which he has been learning for a year and a half, is the hardest. He said, there seems to be more exceptions than rules. He added, I especially like Greek because I think it's beautiful and because of my mother. I have a strong personal link to the country and to the language. Everyone should learn a language, especially if they travel abroad. If you make the effort to learn even the most basic phrase, wherever you go, it is instantly show the person you are speaking to that you respect his or her culture. Going around speaking English loudly and getting frustrated with people is tactless and rude. The next language learning homes to learn is Arabic, but only once I had finished my degree and got some of the time with my hands. For now, I need to concentrate on my German and Russian so I can prepare for my finals.
The Bread's Guide to Cell Phone Etiquette. Think what your ringtone says about you. If you are sometimes embarrassed by your ringtone, it is almost certainly the wrong one, and you should change it. When in doubt, use silent or vibrate mode. It may surprise your companion when you suddenly answer an invisible silent phone, but at least they won't have to listen your ringtone. Take notice of who is around you. Make sure your conversation is not disturbing other people. Intimate conversation are never appropriate in front of others. Respect quiet zone. You must not use your phone in quiet zone, on trains or in autos. That is the reason why they exist. Never shoot. Your phone is not a megaphone. You don't have to shoot. And don't shoot because you think reception is poor. It won't make any difference. People with deserve more attention. People with you deserve more attention than those at the end of a phone. Wherever possible, turn off your phone in social situations and at meeting times, or put it on vibration. If you have to keep your phone on because you are expecting an important call, apologize in advance. Don't continue on with phone conversation when you are in middle of something else. This is especially true if you are in banks, stores, etc. It is insulting not to give the people who are serving you your full attention. Think about where you are calling from. Don't make or receive calls in an inappropriate place. Put your phone on vibrate in meeting, movies, etc. If you must take a call in the car, use hands-free seat.
Set. Two sides to every story. Everyone knows it can be difficult to get along with your in-laws, but for 20 years old Heidi Withers, it may now be impossible. Heidi was invited to spend the weekend with her fiancé Freddie's family at their house, but soon after they returned home, Heidi received a very nasty email from Caroline Bourne, Freddie's stepmother, criticizing her manners. Here are a few examples of your lack of manners. When you are a guest in another person's house, you should not care what you will and will not eat unless you are allergic to something. You should not say that you do not have enough food. You should not start before everyone else. You should not take extra helpings without being invited to by a host. You should not lie in bed until late in the morning. You should have sent a handwritten note after the visit. You have never written to thank me when you have stayed. Heidi was shocked and immediately sent the email on to some of her close friends. Surprised and amused, their friends forwarded it to other people, and soon the email had been posted in several websites, with thousands of people writing comments about the mother-in-law.
And that's all.